Hey guys. Well, today I've got something to show you. I still haven't gotten the adapter, the 601 part. It feels so weird to be talking about parts when this is a Chinese knockoff mask. I mean, it came with like Chinese stickers on it. It's a knockoff mask. This is not a real 3M mask, but I'm using 3M parts. And what I've done, 3M put out a whole lot of different PDF files on filters. Obviously, a lot of what 3M has is cartridge filters, like organic vapor and stuff. I'm not going to say I won't buy one, but I'm saying for now, I don't see myself doing that. It's too expensive to use long term. But what I've been doing is getting the 511N, the KN95, which is it's a Chinese knockoff of the N95. Same basic quality. Mind the mess here. This is what I'm referring to. If you can see it. Can you see it? I think you can see it, yeah. It says 3M, 5N11CN. It's got Chinese characters on there. Yeah, that's a good one. It says 3M on it. So I've got like 1 million of them. In fact, if I can I show you? I can't show you because I left the rest of them in there. I've got like 1 million of them. Look, I really got too many. Look. That's how many filters I've got. I just leave them out here, you know. And today I got something that I thought would not come until May. I'm gonna show it to you. This is my black box or whatever. This is my UVC filter, UVC light I was talking about. It's actually made for hair salons, and I've been using it for cleaning these, as well as my P100 mask. And I took it out and I washed it thoroughly. These are the ones that go in the one I carry on my belt. And I've talked about how my intention is to keep using these, but I want to use it less because it's not really meant for daily use. I realized that pretty quickly. I don't want to damage it. So, let me turn this over. It gets a little warm in there. I didn't expect it to get, you know what I mean? Like I knew it would get a little warm. And these are going to be the ones that I'm going to put in the mask because I'm thinking to myself I'll probably get it soon. You know, I thought about all the ones I have, and I was like, you know what? They'll be fine because I've had them for so long, and they sat in. You have to realize they shipped all the way from China. A lot of that came from China. I don't remember what came from China. Some of it came from New York. I don't remember. I'm not going to try to. I didn't keep track of like the dates and all that. I don't know. And it'd be kind of crazy to do that anyway because of the fact that coronavirus fucked the postal system up bad. Like, I spoke to you guys about how eBay had a lot of my deliveries and it said removed. And I was like, oh shit, what is that? I thought I was in trouble. I'm like, yo, like, you know what I mean? And my friend Dizel, he said he didn't really trust eBay because he felt like eBay, you know, people could try to trick him. I never had a problem with eBay, and I bought a lot of stuff on eBay. I've never had a problem on eBay, ever, for anything. I had, actually, Amazon had a problem. I bought some hair stuff, some shampoo that my hairstylist recommended, and those people ended up not giving me my stuff. And I waited and waited and waited and waited, and I had to get a refund. I got a refund. They just took my money, you know. So Amazon, it's just people. I mean, it's all just people. It's not like Amazon or eBay is trying to fuck you, you know. But because of the postal system disruption, which I've been warning about with you guys, This all got messed up. That's why I was telling Denzel, as well as I told you guys, like I wasn't going to raise any fuss because I didn't get those. Because, well, really three reasons. A, I know why. Like this isn't a person issue. This isn't a person that's sitting there screwing with me. You know what I mean? That's one thing I would try to teach my young friends out there is that when a person can't do something or is unable to do something, you can't really get mad. Like I get mad when it's human, when a person like conscientiously does something to hurt me. But if a person just can't come bring something to me or do a service, you know, calm it down, you know, tone it down. Sorry, that's nasty. That is nasty. I am so sorry. Secondly, I did not have the other stuff. I didn't have the mask. I don't have the bayonet attachment, so I can't use this stuff anyway. And C, well, I've got a lot of it already. Like I had a lot of this stuff weeks ago, to where if I wanted to roll out, I could roll out. Like I could literally go on the road for a month or 6 months with this. You know what I mean? So like, and then what I had to find out was it's just customs. I've got nothing to do with it. Chinese folks have nothing to do with it. It's no one's fault. Also, when you start messing around, like, you know, making, you know, like statements about how you want a refund, it messes stuff up because that takes more time to get your money back. Your money doesn't come back immediately. It takes more time. You got to ship it back. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the richest man in the world, but once I know my stuff is shipped and it's on the plane, like, I'm not going to raise hell about it. And also, let me add a fourth or a fifth, whatever, if you're listening. I think this will be a long-term crisis that will probably go on to next year to a lesser extent. I work and live with people who are not of the highest income, which means that I'll still be dealing with people who have the disease. That's the thing about poor people, not being able to wash their clothes, not the hygiene isn't the best, not washing their hands. Even if it's not as big as it once was, I'll still be dealing with it. So this is, to me, a long-term crisis of long duration. You want to keep a supply. And there could be a second and third wave, like in 1918. You want to keep a supply. I mean, if I had my way right now, I wouldn't want any more KN95 filters coming. I wouldn't want any more coming, if it's up to me. If it was up to me right now, I would be like, nope, stop it. Stop it right now. But I don't. And if they ship me anymore, then that's fine. I'm not crying about it. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that I shouldn't have bought as many as I did, but I don't regret it. This is what I was talking about. The purple ones, I took them out. Ooh. Yeah, see, it's falling apart. Did you see that? Like, this just came off. I washed it with some water in the sink. I took the filters out and put it in the box, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to wash this every day. You know, I don't do that. I wipe it with alcohol sometimes. I don't have any alcohol wipes. I don't have any alcohol wipes right now. You know, I don't think I'll be putting any of these in the black box, or like, damn it. I won't be putting this in the black box. Let me just go ahead and say it, because I've been hearing from people that over time the UVC light damages the straps, it damages plastic. That's something else to learn. It makes plastic brittle over time, so won't be doing that. You know, just be wiping it. But the filters you can put in there, and you know the filters you want to put in there. I'm sure you guys heard. I have this on a hanger. I don't want to do it with my hanger. I'll do it later. I'm sure you guys heard about people putting alcohol and spraying stuff on the N95s That's why I feel like I live a parallel life with most people, like the people out here, because they're messing with N95s, and I actually have a thing, but my intention is to use N95s. I would never spray anything on that stuff, ever. Like, I knew that. If you asked me that months ago, I would have told you, like, I'm not gonna spray anything on that thing. Period. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I would not have done that. Period. I want to be clear that it would damage it. Yeah. This thing. The straps keep coming loose, and this is not something to be counted on. This is something to have with you and carry with you in case. It's a last resort, yeah. But this is not, I didn't think the black box would get here before the 603 did. Like, I wish I knew how to do all that, put pictures and video on my video, because I would show you. I got the 3M PDF files explaining like all different stuff, and I screenshotted the contraption I'm using, which is, I think I showed you guys before. You got this. You'll have a thing that you screw in on here, and you click, and you put that on that, and that plastic thing, I don't know if you can see it. It's a plastic thing on top of it, see-through, that you click, you hold it together. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, see, this is why I talk about why I don't spend a lot of time on conspiracy theories. I'm too busy. Like, I'm too busy learning about like different kinds of filters, how to clean them, how to make a bleaching water solution. I was looking at this cop talk about how he used Everclear. He puts with other stuff to make hand sanitizer and spray. I might do that. He uses a spray. He puts hydrogen peroxide in there too, which I wouldn't do, because that's basically that's like putting water in it. Because if you're exposing it to light, which I think he's exposing it to light, it's gonna die. Exposing it to sunlight and all that, it's gonna die. And then different temperatures. Like, I have hydrogen peroxide in here. I might start using it if things get really bad, to kill stuff. I have that in here. I've got a couple bottles of it, but some brown bottles, just keep in a cool spot. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't drink alcohol. I don't know how much Everclear would cost. I haven't looked at that yet, but it's just something he said that got me to thinking. This is the stuff I'm looking at. You understand? This is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at conspiracy theories about Bill Gates and how they're trying to set this up to kill off all the black people. Like, I'm not doing that. And you're not going to really find that on this show. Like I told you, as I get older, I'm single, I don't have kids and all that. I want to be respected. That does not mean following the American system, entertainment, and doing what people my age do, because I have very little interest in this fucking wicked-ass, corrupted-ass system, this warmongering system. I have no interest in that whatsoever, or being accepted by it. Be careful, be careful about that there. But I do want to be respected. And I've just the coronavirus thing, I don't know, it kind of made things real for me. I don't want to sound preachy. And I don't want to sound all negative and scare people, but it brought things home to me. It made me stand too. I spoke about this being a wet run, and it has been a wet run. I'm pretty sure I've been around people that possibly were sick with coronavirus. I wouldn't be surprised by that. See, my next thing, I don't mean to change the subject. I need to find something, whatever I can use on rubber and plastic, that doesn't damage it. That should be on. I'll put that on my list next when I get done with this video, because I just don't want to damage the rubber or the plastic. So much of this is plastic. The part that holds the filters, the buckles, this shit here's got plastic in it. Those are plastic. You see what I'm saying? I gotta find out some way to. I don't know if alcohol do it without long-term damage. Yeah. I'll figure something out. Oh, 3M. They put out some stuff about how to clean filters. They had like older stuff explaining the 603 system, which is what I just showed you, the plastic. But then they also had some stuff on, updated to do with coronavirus. I gotta find some of them. I never heard of them chemicals before they talking about using. And just some other stuff. Pretty much what I'm doing, clean this with water and soap, and the filter is clean it with something else. So I gotta figure out about that. But like I know I've been around people who are probably sick. I listen to the police scanner a lot, and I hear police officers coughing on the radio. I hear them coughing on the radio. That's what makes me not go out in the house without this on. Okay? People laugh or look at me funny. This is why I take this so seriously. You have cops coughing on the radio. This is why I'm armed. I've talked about blue flu in the past. What does that mean? What happens the day you come to work and 10% of your division is down? I mean, you're talking about your whole philosophy has to change as far as how you're gonna deal with calls. I think I talked on here about how after it was the riots back in September 16, I think, before LHS died. Yeah, it was. So I was with my grandfather that day, and I was with Chris Sanders. Worked for Chris Sanders. He was a good guy. That was a good time in my life. My trucker, he was a good guy, and I left out the day after I was supposed to left out because he was sick. He didn't call me. So it was the next day at the South Carolina, Pendleton, South Carolina. And that day, I was on 85, and that day there was riots and burning on 85. Went on for a couple of days. I remember the next day, one of those days, like that morning, they just kept having breaking and entering after one after the other. And out of all those calls, they could not properly respond. So one of the officers came on the radio and actually said, I wish I'd recorded. He actually came on there and said, hold the calls. We can't respond to all of them. And that made an impact in my mind that police are not, they're not omnipotent. If you have such a high rate of property crime or violent crime, they can only respond to so much of it. Remember, that wasn't during a crisis. I think, like, you have to remember something. They weren't rioting in all of Charlotte. Whereas this pandemic is all over the fucking world. Yeah, this wasn't, you know what I mean? It's weird. If you listen to the old radio calls where you actually had people calling in license plate stops, 1099, calling for warrant. At the same time, you had cops screaming in other parts of the city. I remember hearing police scream on the radio that night, having rocks thrown at them. I remember that very clearly, screaming, and a bunch of them got hurt after that. So, it put a very clear. That's how my dad talked giving up my guns. I never bought that bullshit ever, especially not now. I realized my father's a loser. He did wrong about everything he ever told me. I think that my dad thinks that the way to help black people is to basically weaken criminal justice to where it can't protect people. I'm not for that. I don't think that's what it is. I think, like I said, he just wants to put black folks in there and weaken everything and crumble the system. That's not what I want at all. That's why he talked about there won't be any looting, because he doesn't care. He knows there will, but he doesn't care because it'll be black people looting white areas. I know that's not true because I know once it starts, it's like a disease. Once you start the disease, it can get anybody. You don't know who to get. You don't know who to mutate to. You know what I mean? Once you start something, you can't control it. And so it could be my apartment. It could be my car gets broken into. That's why, I've got the arms and I've got the equipment because I know that. And the fact that you have cops coughing on the radio, it tells me it's a matter of time. See what it is? These cops aren't wearing masks, and not in Charlotte. They're not wearing masks. People aren't wearing masks, which tells me the disease is transmitting just as well as it could be expected. People looking at me funny, I wear my mask. This thing's not going away, and I think we'll get a second wave of it. That's why it's so important I get all this stuff right now. After I get this 603, I'm not going to buy nothing else for a long time because I'm just going to store my money up and stuff. But it was important to get all this stuff now. But going back to it, what I said earlier, it's almost like a mobilization. You know what I mean? I've kind of kept a record of my actions, things I've been doing. I told y'all the beginning of March, second week of March, I think, when they declared state of emergency and how I stood to. I made a video about that and how, a couple of things that made me. Because a woman I was working with used to wear a mask. She's the only person I saw that was wearing one. I looked at her and it just brought it home to me every time I come in, I see her and brought it home to me whoa, I need to be doing this, I remember at work, guys were making jokes, and one of them was like, I don't want trouble with that guy. And I'm just it's like, I've said it before, some black men, some of these black guys are like children. And it's really frustrating. I'm not fighting for that. I'm not fighting for immaturity, which is what that is. Not at all. Not at all. This thing dropped out again. So I'm telling you, this thing, it's not to be trusted, man. This thing is not on the ball. It's got some issues. I mean, I can drag this thing out of there probably. I won't damage it. It's cool. It's something to throw in your bag or whatever, but this is not something you can count on. It's not long term. And really, I want eye protection. I want something that's got eye protection. That's another, that was the other thing about getting a full face mask, is eye protection. It's crazy because this gives more protection, but I've talked about it before that I don't have the ability to get more of these filters. I've got 9 of them in the closet, but I don't have the ability to get any more. There's no more you can buy, whereas I've got a fucking lifetime supply here. You see what I'm talking about? So I'm kind of excited to get this thing back in the box. I want to get this thing off me and get it back in the box and stop using it. You understand? I don't like putting this thing on. I don't want to keep doing that because you have a limited amount of equipment for it, right? I've heard things, on forums about this thing breaking down. I've heard stuff. I'm not going into that. But this, like I said, this whole crisis has been a stand to. I hope it doesn't get worse. I hope we don't get a second or third wave. And I realized in talking to my father that that's basically everything he was saying to me, is that just believing in it's not, nothing's gonna happen. This won't be that. While not basing that upon the facts, I'm basing my actions off of facts and off of plain reality and off of, I remember when he told me that I have no control. I know what that meant right there. You have no control over it because you didn't prepare for it. It's like a person that's preparing for a gunfight. Everything goes by fast. You didn't prepare for it. You didn't get ready. I never listened to nothing he told me. and I'm glad I didn't. I regret the time I wasted. There was a time when my dad had the boat and a navigator, and he used to go to a club. He took me to a club I didn't want to go in. But there was a time where I did kind of feel like maybe this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like, we're just supposed to just spend our money on clubs and, you know, go have fun and fuck around and stuff. And, like, there was a time in my life where I wasn't doing so well, you know, and I felt like that, where it's just like, what am I doing prepping? And my dad called me an old man and stuff like that. I remember that. And I realized that he wants to be in the bourgeoisie. He wants to be in the bourgeoisie. You know what I mean? That's why to him it's crazy. Like, he thinks he's supposed to have people that do this stuff for him. Like, I explain it the proper way, but he wants to be in the bourgeoisie. And for me, I know that'll never happen, nor do I want to be a part of that. And I'm okay with it. I'm living in a crumbling system that's going to get worse. This is a part of that. See what I'm saying? Like, the whole coronavirus doesn't weaken my argument against capitalism at all. The coronavirus response to the public health care's failure, their response to the coronavirus, is really further kind of outlined or explained, shown you how capitalism doesn't care about the little people anymore, how capitalism doesn't even pretend to care. Like, that's to me what, if there's nothing else I can tell you, is that it really brought that home to me, is that our lives don't matter. Essential workers, it just means people that they need to keep the system keep going. You know, they keep pretending that things are going well, and you go to work and you die. I hear about people at stores and stuff not being given masks, not being gloves. I went to Walmart yesterday. It's yesterday. Well, it was yesterday, yeah. Because I went and had problems with my phone. This guy and this girl were talking, and I walked through. They said we're associates. It was in the friends. Go to the restroom. And they were like not even a few feet from each other. Like, nobody takes this seriously. There's a black female comedian that joked about how she put her daughter out because her daughter was joking and laughing in her face. Like, that's how it is out here. No one takes this stuff serious. It's like I don't know, man. That's why I said it before, like, this thing didn't really hit me. I don't want to get sick. I mean, I did walk through there and stuff. I try to limit my Walmart time. Like, I really try to limit my time going there. I went there I had to get Wi-Fi to figure out what the fuck was wrong with my phone. But yeah, I try to limit my time in those places. One thing I read about was they were finding COVID-19 spores, or whatever you call it, in the ventilation ducts of places where you have patients. Ooh, you know, which shows you this thing spreads in areas where you have central air. You think that area has got circulating air. Air is moving around, but it's just recirculating it. It's just spreading it. Okay? That's why, you know, you don't have to be up on top of somebody who's coughing or sneezing. No, they just sneeze, and it stays up in the air for 2 or 3 hours, and they might leave the store. You may come in the store an hour later, hour and a half later, and get it. That's the point. That's what I'm telling you. So it's almost like for black people, like, if we don't have a physical threat staring us in the face, like threat of eviction, or like some guy that's running around in the parking lot with a gun and a ski mask on. Like, if we don't have that, or a dog barking in your, like, if black folks don't have that, it's like we don't get it. If it isn't a physical threat, like if the doctor says, if you keep smoking cigarettes, you'll die of lung cancer. Black folks don't really hear that. Like, if the doctor says, if you keep drinking alcohol, liquor, you can get cirrhosis of the liver. Black folks don't really see that. Like, we really don't. Like I said, we waiting for the Klansmen with the white horses to come clopping down the street. It's really like that. It really is like that for a lot of black, and even the younger black folks. Like, we're like that. So, I think when I get everything together, I'll make a video. You know, I'm trying to, like, put off big things I need to do until I get my 603 adapter. I can't wait to show it to y'all. You know, as much as I can. I just want to lay everything out, show you and everything. Except my black box. I'm excited about that black box. I don't want to. I'm really excited to have this thing. I can't explain to you how much I am excited about this bad boy. Woo! I am so excited. I should get a picture with it, shouldn't I? I love that smell of ozone too. It's not good for you though. Even not too long. Peace, y'all.